So the IDF killed a whole bunch of their own people.
I served in the Israeli military. That did not happen. You can claim that. That's a complete conspiracy.
Now, again, I'm not here to apologize for them. I don't care. But the reality is, if we're going to go ahead and call Hamas a terrorist organization, so is the IDF. I would argue the IDF is a bigger, better, well-funded terrorist organization, and they commit way more atrocities and kill way more innocent people.
I completely disagree.
Okay, you can disagree with facts, but the facts are the facts, and I gave the numbers, and I think everyone here that's listening probably would say I have a stronger case in this one.
It doesn't matter. Hey, how you doing, Myron?
Yo.
So I know it's a crazy statement here, but I'm a Jew, so...
okay.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Ooh, crazy. Oh, my God. Yeah. I'm actually from Israel, so I'm here to talk about, you know, exactly what. First of all, I want to start by saying I don't really get what the purpose of doing the Nazi salute is. Like, it's kind of like, as a Jew standing here, like, I want to talk to you, like, you say you're peaceful and stuff like that, but I really don't get the purpose of it. You know how it makes me feel, so, like, I would rather if you wouldn't do that, obviously, but... do you have anything to say about why you're doing it? Like, what's the purpose of it? You're not claiming the World War II didn't happen. So, like,
you're saying I didn't claim that World War II?
Yeah, you're not denying it, right? So
No, I'm not denying it. I'm just saying I think that, you know, the circumstances and facts around it are very questionable, and I don't think that it occurred the way that a lot of these historians and Holocaust experts are saying, because they have obviously a financial incentive to maintain a certain narrative. But yeah, when it comes to like the Roman salute or whatever, aka this, the reality is that I think that nothing should be off the table when it comes to speech. And sometimes you have to push the edges of speech to ensure that we protect speech and be able to have discussions. And this is one of those topics that for a very, very long time, you haven't been able to talk about because, you know, the Jewish lobby has a lot of power, a lot of influence, and they shut anybody down that talks about it. But it took a genocide in 4K for us to finally be able to have this very difficult conversation. But before October 7th, if you criticized Jewish power, if you talked about Zionism, if you talked about undue influence in American politics when it comes to Zionism, you would get banned off of YouTube and these social media platforms so fast you couldn't even say, you know, shalom. So I think us having this conversation is very important. And sometimes you have to push the barrier of it, which means even doing taboo things and saying taboo things to ensure that freedom of speech stays for everybody. Sure.
We'll definitely disagree about that. But
sure.
Yeah, let's talk about Israel. Why do you believe it's a genocide? Why do you believe it's a genocide?
Why do I think it's a genocide? Well, besides the fact that, you know, we know that 60,000 people have died, right? That roughly 60 to 65,000. That's what the official number is.
How many of them do you think are Hamas terrorists?
A fraction.
What do you
even
think?
Israeli documents internally said about 83% of the people that got killed are civilians.
That's not true.
It's Israeli documents, declassified Israeli documents that leaked.
That was not what the Gaza Health Ministry is saying. They're claiming 20,000. Yeah.
The Gaza Health Ministry is saying what, 20,000?
20,000.
20,000 what?
Hamas members, contributors, whatever.
Okay, so that means 40,000 innocent people died then by your numbers.
Yeah, that's.
You think that's appropriate?
That depends on what you mean appropriate.
Okay, so let me get
I don't think any civilian death is good death. Always, obviously, I think it's terrible. Wars are not moral. They're completely immoral. I'm totally against them happening. But claiming that in modern warfare a 1 to 2 ratio is completely terrible and out of the talks is crazy to me as well. I'm totally against any civilian death, obviously.
Okay, so because here's the thing, even if we use, because the reality is going to be hundreds of thousands that are dead when this is all said and done, because there's bodies under the rubble, that doesn't account for the people that were pulverized and completely, you know, dissipated when they were hit with the bombs. It's going to act, when this is all said and done, there's going to be hundreds of thousands that die. But let's go ahead and go with the conservative estimates. You're saying 60,000 died, and you're saying roughly 20,000 of them were Hamas, and you're saying the other 40,000 were civilians.
I mean, I could claim other things, right? But sure,
okay,
I'll go by the Gaza Health Ministry.
Well, even that is unacceptable. 40,000 innocent people dead.
Because here's any other modern war that happened that had less civilian ratio casualties.
Okay, so so by your definition then, or by your logic, that means that Hamas are better than the IDF.
How so?
Because when they went in and killed the 1,200 people, which by the way, we know that a lot of them were killed by the IDF.
Yeah.
With the Hannibal directive. By your logic of you saying like, oh no, 20,000 combatants while killing 40,000 innocent people is great ratio, then by that ratio then the Hamas is better than the IDF, because we know 1,200 died on that day, right?
Right.
We know roughly 400 of them were IDF, which means enemy combatants. So that leaves us with roughly 800 or so that were civilians. But you can then make the argument, well, are they really civilians? Because everyone in Israel has to serve in the IDF, so are they combatants or not? But let's go ahead and assume that they're civilians. So 400 were active duty, killed, so that leaves us with 800. We don't know how many were killed by the IDF versus Hamas, because we know that a lot of people that died were killed in a manner that was far too sophisticated for Hamas to do, because Hamas doesn't have Apache helicopters with Hellfire missiles.
Okay,
that's a fact. Okay, and we know that the Hannibal directive was activated on that day.
Sure.
So the IDF killed a whole bunch of their own people.
It's just conspiracy, completely conspiracy.
There's literally thermal images of them shooting at people at the
that's just not true.
At the festival.
Listen, I have people that I know that have been there that day at the Nova Festival, right? That did not happen. I was in the military. I served in the Israeli military. That did not happen. You can claim that. That's a complete conspiracy.
Okay, so your position is the IDF did not kill Israelis on that day.
I mean, you could claim that something happened with Crossfire. That could have happened like anything, but no, not on purpose. There's no Hannibal directive. That's just not a thing.
The Hannibal directive isn't real?
It's a thing that people claimed in the 1990s, and it's not something that's been used
Okay, so explain to me why Yoav Gallant admitted on Israeli television that the Hannibal directive was absolutely activated on that day, and it should have been activated in other areas on top of that.
He just did not say that.
Yes, he did.
No, let me see that.
He didn't say that?
Go ahead, pull it up. No, I don't know anything of that happening.
Okay, let me find it right now for you. See, and this is the thing that's always funny whenever I debate with Zionists. Zionists always start the conflict off at October 7th, but Yoav Gallant
We can start it way before, bro. We can start it whenever you want.
No, but you guys always started off at October 7th.
Because it's a complete atrocity, and you believe that as well, right?
So you understand Hebrew?
Of course. When is this from?
This is Yoav Gallant on Israeli media admitting it. So
when?
This was, I think, maybe 9 months to a year ago. So here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and play this on the speaker for you.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll translate for the audience. So.
ישירות, אני חושב שבאופן טקטי במקומות שונים ניתנה, במקומות אחרים לא ניתנה, וזו בעיה.
Okay, let's play that again now. So they say,
he said in certain
was the order given?
Yeah, he said in certain areas
to
it
use
happened
Hannibal
in certain
directive. I think tactically in some places it was, in other places it was not, and that is a problem. That's Yoav Gallant.
Yeah, sure.
The equivalent to R. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, or Secretary of War.
Yeah.
So you have the defense guy, literally the head of the military, admitting that the Hannibal directive was activated on October 7th, and even going further and saying it should have been activated in other places. And for those of you that are unaware, because some of you guys might be saying, what the fuck is the Hannibal directive? The Hannibal directive, guys, is a controversial technique that the IDF employs whenever they're under attack, where they kill Israelis, both soldiers and civilians, so that they are not captured and taken as hostages, because they understand that if any of those people make it back to Gaza and they're taken as hostages, they're going to have to go ahead and exchange anywhere between 100 to 1,000 Palestinians that are also being illegally held as hostages to get that Israeli back. So instead of dealing with that diplomatic nightmare, they'd rather just kill them. So that's your defense minister literally saying it. Denying that too?
No, I'm not denying it.
Telling you guys.
Again, no, I'm not denying
everything.
it. Again, he said in certain areas they used it. Even if so, it probably is not even close to being a fraction of the deaths in that day anyways, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, I mean, like I said, it is a factor, because that is why you guys went into Gaza and killed hundreds of thousands of people. So it absolutely matters.
Right, of course, because they crossed the border and killed as many people as they can find. And
so that justifies killing 40,000 people by your estimate.
So first of all, before that, you're claiming that the IDF is similar to, shut the fuck up. You're saying.
Hey, guys, let him speak. Please don't harass him.
You're
let him speak, guys.
You're saying that Hamas and IDF are similar for the fact that IDF or Hamas killed only 1-to-2 ratio on that day. I think a lot of it.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're going to use modern warfare and ratios by your logic, then the IDF is doing better than Hamas is doing better than IDF.
I think the most important thing is intent, right? So Hamas's intent on that day was to kill any single person they can see, right? Any person they could find. They went into houses, they raided houses, they killed babies sleeping, they killed people sleeping. They didn't really care. They killed any person they could. Israel is not doing the same.
The goal was actually to take as many hostages as they could. That was why they went in.
It was a combination of both. You saw the videos. I'm assuming you've seen the videos.
Yeah, I've seen the videos. Yeah. But again, the main purpose was to go in there and take hostages.
It was a combination for sure. Yeah. That also happened, but they also tried to kill as many people as they can.
Meanwhile, the IDF just indiscriminately bombed Gaza and killed innocent people all over the place.
If they had the ability to kill every single person in Israel on that day, they would have done that. Israel's not doing that.
I mean, I don't even think that's really... The goal for them was to come in and take hostages
and do
an exchange. Meanwhile, Israel said, you know what, we're just going to level Gaza and bomb the hell out of it, not going to let them get food. We're going to just destroy it, kill everybody. So, again... I don't think what happened on October 7th justifies how Israel responded and how they leveled Gaza and killed so many innocent people.
Did it?
And the international community agrees with me on this, and pretty much everyone else does, that it is a genocide. Every scholar agrees with that. And then the retaliation from Israel was just unacceptable, especially when you guys have a very good and competent intelligence community between the Mossad and the Shin Bet and the Unit 8200. How is that you guys were able to get pagers to explode in Lebanon and kill several members of Hezbollah with direct airstrikes, then also do direct airstrikes in Iran, which is miles upon miles away, kill several generals, kill several scientists, precise, do this surreptitiously, have bombs and pagers for 10 years, but you're telling me that you guys can't go ahead and do something more precise with Hamas, who's an inferior military right in your backyard, who has no military capability to the same degree as Hezbollah or IRGC. This is why I can never accept what Israel's done to Gaza and Hamas, because you guys have done far better against more sophisticated militaries. There's no excuse to kill the people you guys did.
Yeah. What do you think Israel should have done that day then?
What should have they done?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Did you know that Hamas put a deal on the table to return all the hostages back roughly on or about October 8th to October 10th in exchange for them not going into Gaza?
That's there were more clauses for that.
No. Literally, they were going to give all the hostages back in exchange for them not going into Gaza, because they knew that it was going to be bad, because you guys started pushing the Hasbara with the mass rapes and the beheaded babies, which the Zaka organization made up that lie. And they knew that they were going to get leveled. So they said, you know what? We'll give you all the hostages back. Just don't invade Gaza. And Benjamin Netanyahu refused, and they invaded anyway, because it was never about the hostages. It was about leveling the Gaza.
There should have been a retaliation. You don't think so?
Sure, they could retaliate, but retaliating in that manner, right, was just unacceptable.
So
and then
you
on top
agree
of that,
on not accepting that deal then? If there should have been retaliation.
They could retaliate, but to not accept the deal.
To that deal.
What was that?
Not if they agreed to that deal, right?
They could have done things surreptitiously like they always do.
What do you mean?
So the Mossad has the most confirmed assassinations by far. That's all they do. I mean, you guys were able to kill the leader of Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh, in Iran with a direct fucking bomb. Why can't you guys do that with the others? See, that's the point. The goal was never to actually get the hostages back. The goal was to destroy Gaza.
Part of it was to annihilate Hamas, of course.
No. It was to annihilate Gaza so that they can go ahead and take that land and turn it into beachfront property, like we've seen.
No.
That's the reality.
Well, I mean, only the future will tell.
I mean, they already have like schematics and like, plans to literally turn it into like a whole resort area.
We'll see.
Kirshner Witkoff, they slipped up on 60 Minutes and admitted this. We saw the plans. Like they're selling the land right now as we speak at Jewish auctions. The goal was never to actually just eradicate Hamas. It was about eradicating all the people there, making it intolerable to live there. So you can go ahead and turn it into beachfront property to emulate what's going on in the UAE and Saudi Arabia, because they're trying to make some money as well in the Middle East. So that's what's really going on. It was never about getting the hostages back. And this was actually confirmed by Israeli media. The Israel Times, someone who was a member of the families, like a representative for all the families, met with Netanyahu and members of the cabinet several times. And Netanyahu said, look, yeah, this deal came across, but we're not going to do it. We want to go ahead and eradicate Hamas. And he wanted to go ahead and continue the war. Also, he's facing a corruption trial. He doesn't want to go to jail.
I won't disagree about the fact that he's not trying to go to jail. Like I don't.
I'm saying
I'm not going to. I don't care about
disagree
Bibi
with in
Netanyahu.
particular?
No, I'm saying I don't care about Bibi Netanyahu. Like I'm not here to protect him or say anything good.
That's
about
fine,
him.
but he's the reason why we had this conflict and why it's been going on so long.
It would have happened no matter what.
I'm sorry?
It would have happened no matter what.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, it probably would have happened no matter what, because the Israelis don't actually want peace at all. They want to.
I completely disagree.
They want to have a Jewish state.
No, I completely.
They want peace?
No, yeah, of course.
Okay,
that's not
then
even
why,
a question.
okay.
I want peace.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Why not have a two-state solution or a one-state solution then?
I wish for a two-state solution. I hope it happens.
It's never going to happen.
I know, because the other side doesn't want it as well.
Because Netanyahu and as well as the entire Knesset all pretty much agree that they want the Palestinians out of there.
That's just not true. 20% of the Israeli population is Arab.
Okay, that's a minority.
That's still a big minority.
And they still aren't treated equally.
They are.
No, they're not.
Completely equal rights.
Yeah, but they're not treated equally culturally and socially.
Because of what? Systematic racism? Of course, that happens everywhere.
Yeah, but because Israelis love to throw that out there, like, oh yeah, we have 2 million Arabs. They're not treated the same whatsoever.
They are. You just said they are.
And on top of that, like, it doesn't matter, because there's millions of others that are just literally don't have any rights at all. No sovereignty, no nothing. So look, again, Israel conducted a genocide. The entire world pretty much agrees with that, to include genocide experts. Could have they went about what they did in Gaza in a better way? Yes. Even by your own numbers, which are heavily deflated, 40,000 innocent people dead is completely unacceptable, especially when we've identified that roughly 800 Israelis were killed, and we don't even know how many Hamas killed versus the IDF killed, because we know that the Hannibal directive was actually absolutely activated that day. And then on top of that, we know that hundreds of them were killed in a manner that Hamas doesn't have the capability of doing. The Apache helicopters then burnt to a crisp in cars. Hamas doesn't have that capability.
They can blow a car up.
Not to the degree that some of those cars were destroyed.
Of course they can.
And then there's footage also released showing that they were just shooting at anyone, because when you look at the through the Apache helicopters, it's just thermal vision. So all you see is people running around. They just shot at everybody indiscriminately. So the IDF absolutely killed a significant amount of, if not hundreds of people on October 7th, and then blamed it on Hamas.
Hamas has been doing the exact same thing to their population. So even if we're claiming 60,000, I'm sure a good percentage of that is Hamas people killing.
You mean
their
like
own
Hamas
people.
killing like their people?
Of course.
Yeah, they kill collaborators. Yeah.
No, they kill any.
They kill collaborators.
No.
Like all the footage we've seen, those are all like other clans that collaborated against Hamas that they're killing. Now, again, I'm not here to apologize for them. I don't care. But the reality is, if we're going to go ahead and call a Hamas a terrorist organization, so is the IDF. I would argue the IDF is a bigger, better, well-funded terrorist organization, and they commit way more atrocities and kill way more innocent people. It's not even close.
I completely disagree.
Okay, you can disagree with facts, but the facts are the facts, and I gave the numbers, and I think everyone here that's listening probably would say I have a stronger case in this one.
It doesn't matter.
You know what I mean? Like, you have your literally your defense minister admitting that the Hannibal directive was activated that day. We have the numbers and know who was killed. We know, based off of even Israeli documents, that the majority of people that have died are innocent people. I mean, it's just unacceptable, and this is why no one likes Israel, and this is why people are being critical of Jews. And let's be honest here. Let's have the real conversation. The real problem here is Jewish supremacy. Jews don't think that other lives matter more than theirs. They don't care about Palestinian life because it's embedded into your guys' ideology.
Okay,
it's embedded into your guys' ideology. You guys literally call yourselves the chosen people, and because you guys have this supremacy ideology, when you guys kill others, you don't care about it, and that's fine. But this is why the whole world is turned on Israel and Jewish people in general.
People? Is it different with the Muslim people? Is it different? Is it different with the Muslim people?
In what way?
What they believe in. You're talking about
like
how how Jews are supremacy or whatever in the Talmud.
Well, Jewish supremacy is very real.
Yeah. What about the Muslim one then? How's
I mean, we could do whataboutism all day.
Yeah, because I don't get the purpose. What are you getting from saying
there's
that?
problems.
It's true to every religion. It's just not. Like you're doing
no, because with Jews it's a lot different, because it's tribal, and then you guys are not inclusive. You guys are exclusive. You can't really convert to Judaism. You guys make it very difficult on purpose. And then it's an ethno-religion. It's not just a religion. It's also an ethnicity. So even there's atheist Jews, there's Christian Jews, there's Muslim Jews. You guys think that you're better based off your ethnicity. You guys call yourselves the chosen people. Okay. And that is why you guys do the shit that you guys do. This is why you guys kill innocent people and say, oh well, Hamas, self-defense. We have a right to exist. Blah blah blah. But what it really means is we have a right to exist at the expense of others' right to exist. Our right to exist overrides everybody else, and no one wants to call that out.
Jews cannot live anywhere else in the Middle East, pretty much. What is your answer to that?
Well, the reason why is because you guys stole the land.
It happened way before Israel.
What happened before Israel?
Jews did not live equally. They had to pay jizya in order to pray.
Yeah, but Muslims, at the end of the day, actually, no, it's the Muslims treat you guys the best. Out of
that, that's just not true.
When you guys got exiled from Spain in 1492, who took you guys in? The Ottomans.
Yeah, the Ottomans.
Yeah. And you guys were in a really bad spot at that point because you already been kicked out of like 109 different countries at that point. Like, dude, if I get kicked out of 109 bars, it's not the bars. It's me. I'm doing a bunch of bullshit.
I've heard that, yeah.
Like, that's the reality, and no one wants to say this. Like, Jews have been responsible for a bunch of bullshit throughout society, right? Right? Like you know, whether it's usury, coin clipping, poisoning wells, blood libel.
You can find anything on any certain religion. You can find that everywhere.
Yeah, of course.
So again, you're saying
there's
nothing.
inherent
You're saying a lot
problems
of things, but actually saying nothing.
But here's the difference. I could talk shit about Muslims all day. I could talk shit about Christians all day. When I talk shit about Jews, that's when we start getting canceled. That's the point.
That's just not true.
Really?
Yeah. Who do you see go there? He goes and says, "Oh, Muslims, blah blah blah." It doesn't happen.
Shot for what? Oh, speaking of how he gets to
he could have got shot for a lot of reasons.
Well, I think the point is that if I was to say, oh, here, you know, let me give you a perfect example. Randy Fine, you know who that is, right?
I don't.
Okay, he's basically a politician from Florida, representative from Florida, that talks shit about Muslims in Gaza all the time. One of the tweets he made.
What is that example? Okay.
Well, he's a hardcore Zionist and a Jew. So
what?
I'm going to show you the double standard here. One of the tweets he made was, Gaza will run with blood. We have a Muslim problem in America, blah, blah, blah. Now let's flip it. Let's say Rashida Tlaib or Ilhan Omar, two politicians I don't agree with because they're leftists, but let's imagine they said the streets of Tel Aviv will run with blood. Oh, we have a Jewish problem in America. Do you think they'd still be able to be representatives?
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't be. They wouldn't be. Ilhan Omar said Israel pays everything revolves around Israel financially, and Rashida Tlaib said from the river to the sea will be free. Both of them got heavily admonished for that. Okay. Meanwhile, Randy Fein's able to make genocidal calls with zero consequence. So the point I'm trying to make here is that America is absolutely run by Jews, and that's a problem.
I do think Jews are overrepresented. I don't think it's run by Jews.
If they're overrepresented, okay.
It just means they're doing a good job. It doesn't mean anything else.
Yeah, what do they do with that good job when they're overrepresented? They use their power and influence, right? This is the concept of world Jewry, which is also real that everyone wants to fucking deny. They use their power and influence to benefit the state of Israel to our dismay.
Okay.
You disagree with that?
I don't necessarily disagree with the fact that Israel is a good thing for America. And America abuses
I disagree.
that.
I think it's a very bad thing for America. We don't get any benefit from supporting Israel at all. Except if anything, you guys create geopolitical nightmares for us.
Again, the issue is we have completely two different histories, right? You believe that 9/11 happened because of the Jews. I don't, right?
Well, hold on. I never said 9/11 happened because of the Jews.
Oh, sorry.
What I'm saying is that there were Zionist fingerprints all over 9/11, and they absolutely had foreknowledge and allowed it to happen and facilitated it.
Okay. So the Jews are the issue in this case.
Well, they were a part of it, yes. But so was Saudi Arabia, and so was the American government. The difference is that Israel is supposed to be our greatest ally, and we give them a lot of aid, so that's unacceptable. But this is irrefutable. Israeli intelligence assets were absolutely in New York City observing the towers get hit and celebrating.
You're talking about like 5 people that were there?
Oh no, there were more. There were several moving companies.
Yeah, how many other groups of people celebrated that day? And countries?
I mean, there's a difference between intelligence officers from Israeli intelligence celebrating in New York City as it's happening versus other people in other countries. That's a lot different. And then on top of that, there were other intelligence assets that were Israeli that were all over the United States at the time conducting this and allowing it to happen. It wasn't just 5. Basically, Israeli intelligence operations were using movie companies as fronts to follow the terrorists around and knew everything that was happening and allowed it to happen.
That's a complete conspiracy.
I'm sorry?
That's a complete conspiracy.
Okay, so explain to me how when those 5 dancing Israelis were caught, 2 of them were identified by the FBI's intelligence assets for Israeli intelligence. Explain to me how several other Israelis were caught with permits to do work at the World Trade Center days before the towers hit, that were caught in a whole scheme in Tennessee with fake documents. Explain to me how the movie company, Urban Moving Systems, was owned by a guy named Dominic Suter, and he fled to Israel right after 9/11 happened when the FBI was doing search warrants at the locations. He was also funded by Israeli intelligence. Is that all a lie too?
No, I'm not saying it's a lie.
This comes from declassified federal documents. This isn't even me talking crap. You can look at the 302s yourself.
I'm sure you can find a lot of things for both sides.
Yeah, but the difference is that these guys are supposed to be our allies.
And they are.
And they facilitated and allowed the worst terrorist attack on American soil to ever happen.
Israelis love America.
What's that?
Israelis are very big allies to America.
I don't.
It's not a lie.
I don't think it's a two-way street. I think it's a one-way street. We give them all the benefits and they fuck us up and fuck us over.
Sure.
And I honestly think we should stop giving you guys aid altogether and let you guys fend for yourselves in the Middle East.
Anyways, in order to end on a good note, what do you think should the future be for the Israeli and the Palestinian people?
Well, we need to find a way to bring peace between the two, because if we allow the Israelis to keep having all the power and leverage that they have zero incentive to make a 2-state solution or a 1-state solution. So we need to make it where us giving them aid or supporting them is 100% contingent upon them actually giving the Palestinians some type of right of return or some type of sovereignty, whether it's you create a 2-state solution or you make it a 1-state and give everybody equality. We need to make it where we're not going to support them anymore unless they actually do that. The problem is that the Israelis keep trying to kick the can down the road, bring more Muslim countries in through the Abraham Accords versus actually finding peace. And that's actually another big reason why October 7th happened.
Oh, I know it. I know it's one of the reasons.
What was that?
I'm saying I know it's one of the reasons.
Yeah, it's one of them. The building the temple, all these different things have been an issue for a long time.
What do you think the Palestinian people would be okay with? Like, what are they going to accept with the process?
I think at this point they'd accept a 2-state or a 1-state, either or.
For 2-state, how much percentage of the land do you think? What part of the land?
Probably 67 borders is what I'm guessing.
Do you think they would accept that?
I think they would. Yeah, at this point, yeah, they probably would. But the Israelis are still trying to take more land, expanding the West Bank all the time, and making more illegal settlements. So.
All right. Well, I hope you have a great night.
No worries, man. Thank you for coming up. We could agree to disagree, but I think I made my case for you guys. And that's the beauty of free speech, guys, right? We can come in with our different opinions. Guys, don't harass them, by the way, please. Be respectful.